Good morning, folks. I hope you're excited. We're talking about the most anticipated earnings coming up February 14th, 2022. I hope you're excited. Super Bowl's today. Obviously, we're going to be very excited about that. You just hope for a good game every time. It's never a good game, by the way. Never. But starting off Valentine's Day on Monday, who's reporting Valentine's Day? Well, we're starting off with Alexander's Incorporated. I mean, nothing relevant there, but we got a bunch of focus stocks this week. There's a lot of bangers. I hope you're excited. Next, Weber. Are you going to grill up some nice dry rubbed meat using your Weber for your significant other? You might use some Weber seasonings. You might. They got some nice ones. Let's just be clear with each other. I usually just make my own, but that's okay. Sometimes they're pre-mixed seasonings. They're pretty good. eCorpio Tankers, Kelly Services, Treehouse, Olink AGTC. Don't really get involved with the biofarmers all that much, but Garrett Advancing Motion, Roivant Sciences, and Acasti Pharma. A lot of these biopharmas, again, not ones I typically get too into when you talk about earnings, because earnings aren't necessarily a major, let's say, catalyst for earnings, I guess is fair to say. But yeah, nothing crazy from my perspective on Monday before open that I'm truly excited about. We'll take a look at the after close. Don't really have any insights here. Either the Avis Budget Group here. Item 9 Labs, nothing crazy there. Ammo International, Advanced Auto Parts, company that doesn't really matter what's going on, but it's Advanced Auto Parts, okay? They just do their business, okay? Arista, Continental, Amcor Technologies, great company, by the way. PHX, what are you? Amtech, and then Omnicell. Okay, baby. Okay. Now we get excited. Tuesday. I hope you're into this. Tuesday before open, we start with Marriott. Still in a recovery state when you talk about how these hotel chains and hospitality companies have been doing. Well, last year wasn't quite the robust, necessarily recovery that you might have expected. Not necessarily even I expected. I expected a little bit more recovery out of them, out of these hospitality companies. But now we're seeing some really good trends, and this year should be a fantastic one for them. Now, what is this quarter look for them? I don't necessarily know, obviously, but not prime vacation quarter. But we'll still see what Marriott's able to do. We'll see. Restaurant Brands International. Huntsman, Zotis, Archcoal, Triton International, Paladin Ecolab, FIS, and Sabre. Not Sabre from The Office, who invented the triangle tablet, the Sabre Pyramid, I should say. Not that. I mean, it's a great piece of technology, and I wish I had one of them, but this is an imposter. Probably should be sued, frankly. After close, we're talking about Roblox, baby. Why do I mention it on here? Well, it's worth focusing on because you know who? I mean, the corrupt politicians, none other than Nancy Pelosi's got call options on Roblox, okay? They're expiring in summer, so she knows something we don't. As in, she's helping to drive the stock up behind the scenes because that's how corrupt politicians be doing it. They've got control over the market, yet they're investing all the time in buying options. So it seems like a very fair system in my opinion. Having all the power, but also being able to, benefit off that power. It's great stuff. You gotta have money to make money, and you gotta be in power to make money. It's great stuff. But what is Roblox expecting? Well, look, this company still doesn't make money. Obviously worth mentioning, expected to lose significantly more than they lost last year this year, but growing sales by a massive margin. We're talking about an 86-cent EPS loss as opposed to the 48 of a year ago expected. Not great. But from a revenue standpoint, $767 million is a 147% increase year over year. So they're expected to grow revenue nearly 3 times as much this year. So that's kind of something you look at and you say, well, a lot of growth there, but it's who knows? Look, they've kind of opened up an entirely new avenue for revenue. And you talk about metaverse, and I guess technically Roblox is kind of in that picture. You know, you consider them as part of a company that's going to be involved in the metaverse movement. Now, again, as I mentioned, new revenue strategies. They've basically got an NFT market within the game, and it's absolutely ridiculous because this is a game oriented towards kids, and people are paying, in some cases, we're talking about 4 digits worth of money into single items that they can add to their digital character. And again, that's just kind of where the metaverse type economy is moving, unfortunately. These NFTs are nonsensical, but people are going to pay for them. That's just kind of how it is. People are very dumb with money, and that would be a great reason why 80+% of people in the United States have less than $1,000 to their name. Just kind of the case. So, I mean, there's a good reason why. It's because they're idiots with their money, and they buy $9,000 Roblox pixels. Okay, that's all I have for them. Upstart, I thought this company was completely gone. I didn't realize Upstart still existed. I thought this was this company was garbage, but who knows? Airbnb has been continuing to do great things in terms of gaining market share overall in the hospitality segment. And it's a really obviously interesting concept for a company when previously there wasn't necessarily a platform like this. So it's really an innovative type platform, and obviously a Verbo in there as well. But Airbnb, there you go. By the way, Airbnb commercials might be the worst things ever. I don't know who's making these things, but they are disgusting. If you ever get ads on YouTube, which, sorry YouTube, you be given these terrible ads for Airbnb, and it honestly makes me want to do things that get you demonetized, as in, look, I'm just saying, if there was a bridge and that ad starts playing and I'm driving in the car, just throwing that one out there. After that, but still, great things going on with the company. Devon, Viacom, CBS. Nothing great to say about Viacom, CBS. Again, all they're going to talk about is streaming data. That's all that matters. All that matters for these telecom companies. Wynn Resorts. We've seen not as good data. Again, as I mentioned with Marriott, not as good data as you might have expected. And one thing that I think is really upsetting if you're a Wynn shareholder, is that they're actually starting to, I think they're putting up their online gambling platform, online sports betting platform up for sale. And I think that's very upsetting because this is an industry that is going to continue to grow massively when you talk about the future. And they're just putting it up for sale. So, again, shareholders might not be too happy about that. But, it is what it is. Solar Edge, baby. Lattice, like an apple lattice pie. That's what I'm talking about. Then CF, they got a freaking corn stalk right there, dude. That's a piece of corn. You see that corn down there? What the heck, man? Come on, man. Wednesday before open, more bangers. It's just banger after banger. Shopify reporting earnings, and again, great stuff out of Shopify. And we look at the historical performance here. What has Shopify been doing? Well, year to date, getting schmammered. The last year, let's be clear with each other, kind of getting schmammered. Still fantastic performance over the last 5 years, but oh my gosh, what is happening? Nowhere near their highs, which, as you see, the 52-week high was at $1,700, and now Shopify is sitting at $800 a share. So if you've been affected by that, you're probably quite upset because you're getting schmammered right now. But here's the growth story that I love talking about, and it's going to be in the EPS line for this company. Freak. Do you think it's still there if I go back and back? No! Look, I'll remember the data. I remember the data because I had to insert it because Yahoo Finance is a piece of garbage. Fix your website, you fudgers. That's right, I said fudge. That's right. $1.57 expected in EPS. Now, this is a company that's growing the EPS line massively. I mean, continues to grow it massively every single year, and I'm very impressed with that. So that's kind of a big story for me, is this net income line. Really impressed with this company, and let's be clear with each other. I mean, if this company goes down any more, which I don't think it will off of these earnings, but if it goes down any more, this thing's a screaming buy. It's a screaming buy, folks. That's all I'm telling you. But obviously the revenue story is still massive. Expected to grow around 73% year over year. Year ago, they only did $977 million in this quarter. They're doing 1.69, represents around a 73% gain. Massive stuff year over year. And next year, still expected to grow 32% as well. And we're talking about multiple billions of dollars. So really excited for Shopify. It's a great quarter for them, obviously, being the holiday shopping quarter. Really excited for them. It's going to be great stuff. Then you have the trade desk, nothing crazy as far as insights for them. Crocs, I think, will do well, actually, this quarter, seeing as a lot of people probably bought Crocs as gifts. I mean, honestly, Crocs they're a gift worth giving, frankly. Look, I don't know the practicality of as far as going out, but look, around the house, I like the Crocs, and sometimes I wear them out, and that makes me a trash human being potentially. But look, they're pretty comfy. Are they worth the money? Not worth what they're charging for them. They're literal pieces of plastic. They're charging $50 to $60 for. I could make them right now in my own house for about 10 cents. And yet they're charging $60. It's crazy when you have pricing power like that. It shows, really good business, good name brand. Barrick, after them, oil, baby. Wix.com, they've been doing some pretty darn good stuff. Kraft Heinz, no matter what the economy's doing, Kraft Heinz will do its thing. That's just kind of how it rolls. People have been flooding into these kind of stocks and getting out of these hyper-growth stocks like Shopify, which is unfair in my opinion, But some of these companies, these value plays, have been very unfairly impacted, if we're being honest with you. Don't mind me. Just getting stuff pulled up for later. You might need it. Hilton Worldwide, Generac, nothing crazy with them. Analog Devices, chip makers. All that matters with chip makers is outlook. That's all that matters. Outlook is going to impact this. AMC Networks. AMC Networks. Nothing crazy with them, honestly. Kind of a dying kind of company, frankly, if you ask me. But I guess you don't need to ask me. So, what if you just didn't ask me? Consider that ever? What else? That's right. After close, baby. Nvidia. You got to talk about Nvidia. It's a great, great company. Again, skyrocketing profits. They're continuing to grow massively. $1.22 compared to 77 cents of a year ago. As the company matures, they're growing this line massively. Expected $4.34 for the year compared to $2.50 of a year ago. Pretty crazy. And revenue line still continues to be magnificent. Expected a 50% growth this quarter, $7.4 billion compared to a year ago, $5 billion. Expected to grow 60% this year, 18.5% next year, which I think actually will get upped after a couple revised guidances. So, but really good. Love Nvidia. They're able to do great things and stay strong as a company. Applied Materials again. It's going to be outlook for these chip companies. It's going to be outlook. Marathon Oil, nothing crazy there. Besides the fact that the world's strongest economy, as some people might say. Jim Cramer might say it's the strongest economy he's ever seen. Yet oil prices and gas prices officially going through the roof to highest levels we've ever seen. Strongest economy ever, though, by the way. Quantum Scope, Energy Transfer after them. Then Cisco, I think we're going to hear some talk from them about their potential acquisition of Splunk, as we saw last week. Pretty excited about that, too, because it kind of changes this company a little bit. It's a very boring company. If they were to acquire a company like Splunk, I'd see some pretty good things actually from them. Pretty excited about that. Following them, we've got Doordash. Doordash it's pretty solid. Garbage financials. Don't talk about the financials, but they're doing good business. Would it be a company I ever invested in? Never a shot, but it's garbage. So Starbulk, and then Fastly. Then Thursday, before open, we've got the real one. Palatine, you've got nothing on Palantir. This is the real one, baby. Then we have Walmart, and Walmart's my final focus stock, even though there's, some great beauties future to come, but you can only have so many focus stocks. Expected $1.49 EPS versus $1.39. This is where they've kind of struggled as of late. Is this EPS line and actually hitting these lines? They're expected to grow a lot more this year than they did last year. Pretty nice to see. But from a revenue perspective, they're expected to decrease sales by 0.4%. I think they beat on this, actually, given rising prices of goods. That's what's going to impact really this EPS line, in my opinion, is horrible inflation numbers thanks to the strongest economy ever, worse in 40 years. But it's the strongest economy ever, folks. But I do think they're actually going to do great things in the revenue line here, and they'll show growth. But what does that mean for people? I don't know. Expect to grow 2.2% this year and 3% next year, which again is fantastic. Even these low single-digit numbers are fantastic when you talk about the 10% they grew just a couple of years ago. So to continue to grow is fantastic. Fiverr, I never really hear much of this company anymore. I don't know if people really still pay for Fivers. I don't know. I wouldn't personally. I don't know what the joy is, besides the guy that says Tilted Towers is in trouble and we need your mom's credit card. You know that guy? We all know that guy. The four wacky digits on the back. That's what he do. It's a great business model. That's the only guy that I think exists on Fiverr. Now all these celebrities are. That's the great thing. We're getting off track here, folks. That's the great thing about once you're rich and famous, you literally can do anything and get money. You could just post yourself saying, "Hi, happy birthday," insert someone's name. 4-second video, you can get $500 for doing that. Just for that, by saying someone's freaking name. Good grief, these rich people have it so nice they don't even know. Why do they always commit crimes and crap? Oh, because they'll get away with it. Yeti after them, AutoNation, Tower, EPOM. My favorite Pokemon, actually. No, he's not. Atlas Air, and US Foods. How are these truckers working out, man? I don't know. After close, we have Roku. Obviously, we're talking about it as a hyper-growth company. One's been hit very hard as of late. Roku, very nice stuff, actually. The platform's really good, but we'll see. We can always talk about platform revenue, and then one thing that's been actually very much slowing for them is going to be on player revenue, and that's going to be, as you might expect, stuff like the Roku sticks that people buy. And as more people get the platform and actually people buy TVs with Roku built in, you don't necessarily see as much of that platform revenue, the player revenue. You're seeing more platform revenue, which is growing significantly. Player revenue growing very minuscule amounts. But again, it's Q4, so it's a good quarter for them because a lot of people get gifts for Christmas that might be a Roku stick. Look how oh wait, you can't see my mouse. Darn, I perfectly matched it in that K. Like, it's a perfect fit in the bottom of that K. That's very random, but something's wrong with my brain today. Sandstorm. Dropbox is a solid company. It really is. Sunrun. Qdell. Shake Shack. I've never been. Heard great things. Overpriced, though. I can already tell you just off of knowing what they serve, it's overpriced. But I'm sure it's a pretty darn good meal. Yamana Gold, Alivant, Redfin. I do like Redfin. They're great things. Great things from Redfin. Keysight Technologies. Friday, before open, DraftKings is going to be very relevant. This quarter does not include the Super Bowl, though, so you're not going to see necessarily massive revenue up for that, but you're going to see some of the playoffs, actually. So DraftKings is going to be doing fantastic numbers this quarter as you continue to see revenue rise in terms of people's sports gambling. It's continuing to rise by massive margins. And the AFC, or really the championship week, which will not be included in this quarter, unfortunately, NFL championship week, conference championship, I should say, was the highest week ever, highest weekend ever for NFL gambling. So we'll see what that looks like, but not this quarter, unfortunately. John Deere, Big Ol' B, Advance 6, Barnes, PPL, Arbor Realty Trust, love this company, by the way. Oh, it's a beautiful company. I'm excited for these earnings. I love them. I love them. Baltram and Amarin Energy, baby. That's what I got for you. Way off track. This took forever. I hope you stayed through the entire video. If you did, leave me a comment telling me that you love me, because I love you. Happy Valentine's Day.